Another edition of NASCAR DFS Preview. I'm AustYn.
And I am Yacs.
And we are going up north to Watkins Glen,
New York,
for the Go Bowling at the Glen. Let me get my notebook here right quick. We've been having a little bit of technical difficulties. Yes. So
no number. Just go bowling at the Glen.
Yep. So Go Bowling.
I did the same thing.
Go Bowling.
Go bowling at the Glen.
So, It has been a while since we did a video, so bear with us. A little rusty. And, 3 weeks now?
3 weeks.
The Olympics break and everything. NBC had to go and cover the Olympics.
Tokyo.
Yep. So, we are at Go Bowling at the Glen, and it's one of my favorite road courses. You're looking at about a 2.5 mile course, 90 laps, 5 sets of tires. It's a very interesting course. I'm trying to think of the best track to compare it to, but there's really not.
Coda.
Yeah.
Coda's pretty close.
Coda's a little bigger.
Yeah.
But Watkins Glen is one of those staple tracks. So between Watkins Glen and Sonoma, that's all we had for years. In terms of road course racing, now we have a plethora of options, a buffet, if you will, of road course racing.
Sonoma, Glen, Coda, Road America, Charlotte Roval, Daytona Road Course, Indy Road Course. I think that's it.
That's
a lot.
Yep. We've already ran 4 this year. This is the 5th, which is pretty amazing. And the way the cars are changing next year, I guess the cars are going to be more like that. In terms of past history, we did not run here last year.
Nope.
We ran here in 2019, so we have to go back a little bit. Some of these drivers have ran K&N races, IMSA races, you name it, at this track. You can look at that in terms of your research, even though the cars are pretty different. But in terms of the technicality of it, it is a technical track. You have really high speeds in certain areas of the track. You get really slow, braking zones, gear shifting, all that good stuff. The ones that are really good at it always do well, and the ones that are really bad at it really stink at it.
Yeah, so, pretty much.
You only get that analysis with the sports chief. Yep. So we just say it the way it is,
Yeah.
If you're good, you're good. If you're bad, you're bad.
Yeah. And to settle all your Austin-centric beefs.
Yes. By the way, he's not in the field.
He's not. No issues today.
Or Allmendinger.
Nope.
Which is a little shocking. For sure. I expected them to be in the field. I thought they were running all the road courses. Maybe they're saving up for Indy. I don't know. Maybe they're wrecking too many cars. I don't even know if they're wrecking cars.
But I don't know. I really don't know.
Yep. So yeah. Just trying to think of any other news. Ross Chastain going to Trackhouse.
Yep. They're moving the numbers up. They're going to be forward. Most people thought they're going to be backward.
Yeah.
I mean, move back on the side of the car. So they're going to have a sponsor on the side, and then they're going to have the number at the front, from what I'm hearing. That's the rumor anyway.
I think they should just do all the racing at night and put a light up in the sky, and it shows their number.
Might as well. You can see from the sky about 20 miles away. There it is. That's the position.
Yep.
Chase Elliott's running well today. Martin Truex, not so much. That'd be pretty neat.
It would be. It would be. It'd be like you're a NASCAR astrologist.
Yeah.
Look up in the sky and
pretty close.
And I believe that will happen. I believe this will happen.
Yeah, it could.
Whenever you start paying Bitcoin to get in the track.
Yeah.
So.
Are you going to be paying $20 a month for NASCAR.com, and then
they would cease to exist?
You have special glasses, maybe. You have special glasses. Say, oh, that's where they're finishing.
Maybe.
Yeah, kind of like a Google glass, maybe.
Maybe.
Getting a little off topic.
Or we could just put the cars on the blockchain, Just watch them run around. Yeah. If Landon Castle's watching this, that'd be awesome. I know he's all obsessed with like Voyager and all that, which is, I follow it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
be kind of dumb not to, to ignore it totally. So,
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway. And, hey, the Sports Chief told you first on August
5th.
5th.
Yeah.
When this is recorded.
Yeah.
Yep. By the way, we're in the we're not in the foothills. Well, close enough. Piedmont, foothills, all the close areas. We're in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And we ran Hickory last weekend. And typically with off weekends in the sport, a lot of your top tier drivers run at Hickory. Not many ran this weekend. So last weekend. I was a little shocked at that. I didn't go. I went a couple years ago. Watched Taylor Gray won, which Taylor Gray is running his first truck race this weekend.
Oh, is he coming up finally?
Yep. In the 17 truck.
Oh, okay.
And I believe Bubba Pollard won the other race when I was there.
Mm-hmm.
But, yep. Yeah, Josh Berry won this weekend.
Oh, okay.
Not shocking.
No.
Anyway, so all this talk about blockchains and car numbers up in the sky is leading us to find out what DraftKings has given us in terms of options. So let's just go ahead and check it out here.
Alrighty, let's do it.
So, well, did you have anything else to add?
I didn't.
Yeah.
No.
Let's check out some DraftKings then. And then we'll go to FanDuel. And then we'll leave it up. We'll table a discussion for all your various cryptocurrencies.
Sure.
Anyway. All right. So we got Kyle Busch starting in 20th at 10-9. Not shocking there. Kyle Busch has been performing really well. Chase Elliott starting in 11th at 10-6. Martin Truex Jr. starting in 9th at 10-4. Kyle Larson starting in 4th at 10-2. And Kurt Busch starting in 17th at 10,000. So we got 5 10K drivers. Pretty much the norm. Not shocking, but I am super pumped about the fact we didn't have Chase Elliott at 12,000 because I just knew that was going to happen. They didn't do it. They're begging you to pick Chase Elliott this week. Like, Chase Elliott is awesome on road courses. He's got an average finish of 7th here. 6.25 road course average this season. So this is what I did in picking my lineup. I looked at this season's stats. Mostly in terms of, I looked on Tandem Draft is something I look at. J-Ski racing reference.
Wrestling reference.
Yeah.
That won't help you.
Yeah. I know Joey Logano went to a wrestling event one time, right?
I think so. Kyle Busch won the 24/7 championship.
That is only heard on the Sports Chief.
Yep, he
I
did.
don't think many Fairweather fans know that.
Pinned R-Truth, if I'm not mistaken. Because R-Truth has won 50 times. So
yes.
My money's on R-Truth, who won it. I mean, that's who he won it from.
Yeah. Man. Tell you what, folks, you get all kind of knowledge on this show.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got anyway, I'm picking Chase Elliott. That is my tier 1 pick for sure. That's my top pick. Kyle Busch will be heavily owned, but Chase Elliott's going to be 50 or 60% owned, especially in single entry games. Tournaments, you might be a little lower just because you have so many options there. You do have Kurt Busch in 17th and Kyle at 20th. William Byron in 15th might be a decent option. He's not as good on road courses as you would think. He's okay. Not great. So anyway, you got Joey Logano, Hamlin, Blaney, Keselowski, and 9K. And Keselowski starting on the pole though, he's just not gonna win. Watch him win this weekend. I don't see Keselowski winning.
I don't think you will. He's just not been consistent enough this year, really.
He's not really a good enough road course racer to me. He's never won here before. And I think about 3 or 4, well, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, he was really good on road courses. He was performing really well. He's just not doing it anymore. Denny Hamlin's always super consistent at Watkins Glen, but he's consistent everywhere. Joey Logano has been a boss on road courses, and I'll get to that here a little later this season. Now, he has won here once. Denny Hamlin has won here once. Martin Truex Jr. has won here once. Harvick and Allmendinger, who is not in the field. 2-time winners are Chase Elliott and Kyle Busch. Hence the reason why they're 1-2 in price. So, they just threw Larson and Kurt Busch in there to kind of phase you out from that Logano-Hamlin area.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me. All right, so I got him. Let's just go ahead and go to the bottom here. So you got Quinn Half and the, I'm going to butcher the name of the sponsor, but I know it's Peanut Butter Whiskey. Scutterball.
I didn't know about it. Well, that's something else.
Anyway, that was on J-Ski. That's all that comment. And Tommy Joe Martins really liked that sponsor. I did see. So you got Garrett Smithley starting in 32nd at 4,600. Skip Barber Racing School. Garrett Smithley, huh? You want to go a little bit of road course racing with Smithley?
Smithley's going to take him to school.
Yeah, well, if it was on iRacing, I'd do it. Not in real life in the Rick Ware car. Josh Balicki, a really good road course racer, starting in 34th at 48. Their starting positions don't, well, Quinn Houff, no. But the others, I mean, they just don't warrant the pick, really. So Kyle Tilley, he's starting for Live Fast. I said Scott Heckert. Wow. Scott Heckert was the other guy that drove that car the past few road courses.
Yep.
So I'm going to stop it at Justin Haley starting in 30th. He's ran he's ran a lot of road course races, and he's actually competent. But starting in 30th, he's starting a little high. Then you got Road Course Anderson there, RC Anderson.
Oh, Road Course,
RC. So he is a sports car racer. That's a little bit I know about him. I know he's ran in the Xfinity Series. I can't remember what car he drove, but he did okay.
I've heard the name. I don't remember him racing much anywhere, though. I remember the name.
I don't know what race or races, but it was the Xfinity Series that he ran. So I will not be picking him, though. He's in the 15 car, which is what James Davison normally drives, and that's probably the best of the Rick Ware cars. But Rick Ware, his or Cody Ware's. But Cody Ware's not racing. So he's driving James Davison's driving the Nurtec 51 machine, which he is actually very good on road courses. He's known as an Australian sports racer. This season alone in 2021, his average finish on road courses is 26.25, which is pretty amazing.
Not bad.
I think you're going to see a few people go with him, and I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I think it's a competent pick for sure. He's starting in 36th, 5,900. He could finish around 26th. Let's say he does. You got 10 points, free points there. And then around 25th, you're looking at around 15 or 16 points probably. So about 25 or 6 is going to be your output if you go with James Davison. Another driver that I was totally shocked to research a little bit is Corey LaJoie, 5,800. Corey LaJoie's average finish on road courses this season is 22.5. Now, Corey LaJoie is historically known as a bad road course racer. Well, he never really finishes well. Yeah. This season, it's evident that he's worked really hard at it. And say he finishes 22nd, you got 23rd, 22.5, 6 spots plus that 23rd spot. I mean, you're looking at, 25, 26 points again.
Not bad.
So I really like that option. Honestly, he finished like 18th and 19th quite often when you're looking at his numbers. So that's an interesting option. They're really pricing Austin Dillon cheap, aren't they? $6,100 for a driver that is trying to make the playoffs. This is my thing. I know he's not historically known as a good road course racer. 17.5 is his road course average finish in 2021.
Yeah, that's really good considering how bad he was.
I mean, you're getting a little bit of negative value from where he's starting, but I'm going to be honest with you. Dillon's probably going to finish about where he's starting. Yeah. And that's not a bad fade pick. Like, you're fade in the term that you're not fading him. Like, not picking, that's a bad term to use. But it's a cheaper option that you can roll with, and it's like a throwaway pick. And it's not really a throwaway pick because he could get a top 10. That car is perfectly capable of getting a top 10.
Absolutely.
Do I think it's likely? Probably not, but the talent is there, and he's running a little better on road courses. So he is actually running the Xfinity race too. So he's going to have a little bit of laps pre-race. So with no qualifying. Anyway.
He's running for Junior Motorsports, isn't he?
Our Motorsports.
Oh.
He filled in for Annette.
That's what it was.
Yep. Which, Annette's back already.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on with that, but he did hop in the car like 20 minutes before race time.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I remember him filling in the spot. I didn't know if that was
Atlanta.
I guess it was Atlanta. That sounds right.
It had to have been a track where they were both at.
Yeah.
Cup and Xfinity.
Yep.
So yeah, no respect to Austin Dillon there. I mean, he's cheaper than Bubba Wallace and Cole Custer and Eric Almirola starting in 8th.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He's a decent option, and I would definitely consider him for sure. Let's just go up and scroll here. Eric Jones is a driver he's got the best average finish among all active drivers. So 6.3 starting in 22nd. One thing to consider is he did drive the 77 car and the 20 for Joe Gibbs. So I think he'll finish well. I think he'll be very highly owned. But I'm not going to go with him this weekend. One driver that I am going to go with is Chase Briscoe. So Chase Briscoe is starting in 27th spot. 8,300. Got to be the highest he's ever been priced. For sure.
I would say so.
Higher than Reddick, higher than Chastain. Although when you see those names, Briscoe's a driver that, if Almirola just won a race, look out, because Briscoe definitely could win one. I do believe Briscoe is uber talented for sure. And Chase Briscoe's average finish on road courses this season is 15.25. That's a 15th place finish. You're looking at around mid-20s plus a 12-point value. You're looking at close to 40 points, which is like a 5th place finish. You got to go with Chase Briscoe. I think that's a great option. He will be heavily owned, so you're not really hearing any groundbreaking information, but I think you do need to pick Chase Briscoe. Speaking of Chris's, let's talk about Chris Buescher. So Chris Buescher starting in 24th. He's at 7,800. That's another one I'm rolling with. So Chris Buescher is a driver that was so close to winning it. Was it Homestead earlier on in the season? No, it wasn't Homestead.
I don't remember. I remember he had.
Good
it
Lord.
was.
Maybe it was. I can't remember. It was a mile and a half, and she shocked the world. And I was like, "Oh my God, Chris Buescher's going to win," and he didn't. Is it Vegas? I can't remember.
Vegas sounds right.
It is one of the first races.
Vegas sounds right.
So yeah, starting in 24th spot. He has won road course races in the Xfinity Series before, but his average finish this season is 14.5 on road courses. You're looking at a 9-point value in return, and again, you're looking at a driver that's a top 10 positional points value. You're looking at like 38th or 9th. 30. Oh, excuse me. Well, actually, that's 24. 15th. So, yeah, you're looking at 30-some points, which is a good option for sure.
It was Atlanta.
Atlanta, okay. Mm-hmm. There we go.
And he ran well at Kansas.
Okay. Yeah, he's been close a few times. So, yeah, that's a good driver to pick. I think this is a very solid tier to start your lineup with. You got CCC, Chase Elliott, Chase Briscoe, Chris Buescher.
CECBCB.
Yes. CB, yeah. You got Christopher Bale, CB. A lot of C's.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, so you got $7,700 to spend. I think you need to look towards a cheaper option. So, in my opinion, while you're building a lineup, you got to go with James Davison or Corey LaJoie or Austin Dillon. Those are your 3 picks. And then let's go with like Dillon. You have 8,600. Another driver that really stood out to me in terms of statistical prowess, if you will, was Michael McDowell. So he's 7,200. He's starting in 25th spot. If you're looking in this tier, you're looking at Suarez, Newman, McDowell, Jones, Almirola, Bubba Wallace. Michael McDowell's average finish this season on road courses, you're looking at about 18.2, which is okay. But hey, that's 7 spots gained. And you're probably looking at, it's good enough to say he finished 14th or 13th, right? Which is pretty good. I don't really see Eric Jones getting a top 10. I can't see it. I don't really see Daniel Suarez getting a top 10 either. And Ryan Newman is not an option. So, Eric Almirola might do okay, but starting in 8th, that's just really high. And I think since he's gotten that win, I don't know. Maybe they'll do okay. But yeah, Wallace, Custer, Stenhouse, I don't consider them at all. So, you could go Michael McDowell. That leaves you with a lot of money left over, and you can go like Kurt Busch. Which Kurt Busch, his average finish on road courses this season is 10th. So you got 7 points.
If I'm not mistaken, in the last 4 at Watkins Glen, he's finished like 9. I think that's like his average, 9.
Yep.
In 4 races, the last 4.
Yep.
So he's good. He's good at road courses in general. He's basically good anywhere. You can pick him a lot of places.
Yep. So in terms of, I'm just going to go ahead and break it down here in terms of the top options to choose from. What you can look at here is, guess I'm flying around here. All right. So what you're looking around here is your top picks, right? So what you want to build your lineup with. Joey Logano is the best road course racer this season. He's got an average finish of 6th, which is remarkable. You could go with him. He's starting in 2nd spot. You could go with Chase Elliott. You know, that's your 2 big horse picks. So you could go Logano. Denny Hamlin's got an average finish of 7.5. And from there, you're kind of looking at Kurt Busch has a 10th place average finish. And, you know, Ross Chastain actually is 14.25. And I think Ross Chastain and Tyler Reddick are very good options there, these two. So 12 and 13. I think you can consider them and probably good picks. So that's pretty much the 3 drivers that I'm really looking at are Chase Elliott. I think you got to go with Chase Briscoe. And, Chris Buescher. We're going to go. I think you can consider Corey LaJoie because nobody's going to pick him. So if you want a single entry good pick, go with Corey LaJoie. But, yep, that's my 3 there. Yeah. There you have it.
All right. Much like DraftKings, the pricing this week on FanDuel, it was pretty conservative. It was pretty fair. You look at your top option, Chase Elliott. I mean, that's no surprise. 14.5. You have a $1,000 gap between him and Kyle Larson. I'm kind of surprised Kyle Larson's the second option since it's a road course. I kind of thought Kyle Busch would be top 2 definitely, and I'm kind of surprised to see that he's 4th. That's kind of weird. Your top tier is Elliott, Larson, Truex, Kyle Busch, and Denny Hamlin. You're not going to have many arguments out of that. That's very fair.
Larson does shock me a little bit to be that expensive.
Yeah, it is kind of surprising to see. I personally, if I were doing the pricing, I would switch Kyle Busch and Larson. Personally,
yeah,
I think it would be like the perfect pricing as far as that goes. My strategy this week is going to be much like I feel like when I pick road courses. It's a lot of chalk. And then like 1 or 2 wild cards. And those wild cards are going to make or break you. And I feel like that's with every road course when you pick for daily fantasy. We're going to get our first pick right out of the way. Chase Elliott. He's going to be owned a lot. He's starting in 11th, 14.5. 7.0 in his last 4 races at Watkins Glen. Not to mention the fact that he's won the last 2 at Watkins Glen. Chase Elliott is just great at road courses. And in the last 8 road courses, he's won the last 6. He's won 6 of the last 8. So you can't really afford not to have Chase Elliott in your lineup.
Yeah.
And, you can go with other options, but you're just taking that risk of him winning. And there was one thing I wanted to mention at the start. Of the last 16 races at Watkins Glen, 14 of those winners have started within the top 10. So Chase Elliott is out of the picture there. So is that something you really want to look at? I don't think so, because they're not qualifying, of course. But it's something interesting to look out for with your lineups. Track position is everything at road courses. Mm-hmm. And where you start and where you end up's huge. You're going to see some of these guys that can make the climb, but making the climb's not as big of a factor, and it shouldn't be as big of a factor in your lineup when you're making it, I don't feel like. So we're going to move down at the very bottom. Josh Bilicki, Garrett Smithley, Road Course Anderson, Kyle Tilley. They're all 2,000. And road courses, you can go with these guys, but keep in mind they're probably not going to finish within the top 25. Not very likely. They could, but not very likely. Going to move up a little bit. James Davison he's always an intriguing option because if he has decent equipment, he can get really good finishes. And we've seen that Cody Ware, and when he's raced road courses, he's finished okay. So we could see a top 25 finish out of James Davison this week. Who knows? My biggest wild card of this lineup that I'm going to make, Anthony Alfredo.
Wow.
Starting in 31st. Whoa. Big time wild card. Nobody's going to pick him. That was a big factor going into it. Starting in 31st, I think, well, let's hope. Let's hope he can let's hope he can run around the top 25 because I think that's going to cancel it out with these other guys that I'm going to be picking. It's priced at $3,500. That's really cheap, and you can afford better road course racers. And Anthony Alfredo's not terrible at road courses. He's not great, but he's not terrible. 18th at COTA.
Yeah.
And 22nd at Daytona Road.
Well.
So, but when you look at the other ones, they're around 30th. They're about where he's going to start. So, I think COTA is probably the most similar to the Watkins Glen that's on the circuit this year, and he finished 18th. So, I'm hoping for another result like that. So, but another thing to mention, and maybe this is an argument against him, this is going to be his first race at Watkins Glen.
Yeah.
Total. He didn't race there in the Xfinity Series. I mean, they didn't race there in the trucks. And, he's not – this is his first year in the Cup Series, so –
yeah, I mean, and, all those other road courses, those you mentioned, he had never been there either.
No.
And it's like the Daytona road course, he started in 31st, and he finished 22nd. I mean, that alone is...
For $3,500, if you can get that kind of output out of him,
good.
That's great.
Yeah.
If you can get 10 spots out of him, that's great.
Yeah.
That's all you're going to ask of him. Mm-hmm. And if he can do better, even better. We're going to move up, though. Corey LaJoie, I considered him because he's been running decent at road courses this year. They kind of found a little groove there in the last couple months, maybe. Starting in 29th, I say that's a little... I guess I see the number 2 in the front, and I say, he's in the 20s. I don't know if he can make the climb. I mean, it's not much of a different climb than Anthony Alfredo, but he could run well. I think he could run well. We're gonna move up. Eric Jones, like Austin said, he's the best at Watkins Glen in his career. I think he has like a 6th place average finish in his his only 4 races, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. That equipment's different, though. Going from Gibbs to Petty, I think he could finish well. I really can see him finishing well, but 22nd, that's just a weird spot for him. I don't feel like that's just a great pick, but I think a lot of people will pick him. So, Austin Dillon, I'm surprised that what you said about him. I didn't think he's been running that well lately at road courses. But 6,000, pretty similar to what DraftKings is rolling out. Could be a good option. He's averaging 17 in the last 5 at road courses, or
18.
18, is that what you said?
17 and a half,
Yeah.
And they're going for the playoffs,
Yeah, and if he's really running hard and pitch strategy, he could get a top 10.
Yeah.
Not out of the question. Chris Buescher's another great option, starting 24th. He's good at road courses. We're not going to go with him, though. Eric Almirola, he was the last... New Hampshire was the last race, wasn't it?
Yep.
He was the last winner. Surprised a lot of us.
Yeah.
He was really the worst driver of any of the top equipment, for sure. And he just rolled out a win. He's entered in the playoffs, so... We'll see how that pans out, but we're going to go with another playoff driver in this area. Michael McDowell. We're going to get the Front Row Motorsports.
Wow.
Both of them in our lineup.
Put the stable.
You're not going to see that very often. Maybe at well, I say restricted plate, super speedways. Maybe at super speedways you'll see both of them in a lineup, but I think this is your best option to put them in both in a lineup. Michael McDowell, 15.8 in his last 4 at Watkins Glen, and a little bit of what have you done for me lately? 8th at Daytona Road, 7th at Coda. So running well at road courses this year. He had a not so great finish, I think, at Sonoma, and Road America he didn't do well, but I think that was more so he just kind of got knocked out of the way and just couldn't really regain position. He's a good road course racer, and 7,300, that's a more than fair price. Starting 25th, he could get you a top 15, and as far as this year goes, he's proven he can get you a top 10, almost a top 5. So maybe pitch strategy will work in his favor and get a top 5. Who knows?
Yeah, in his last 4 at Watkins Glen, he's finished no worse than 18th.
Yeah,
So
no worse than 18th. He's averaging 15.8.
yeah,
He had a 12th place finish in there too. So this is a good track for him.
Yeah,
Really good track for him. Daniel Suarez, I considered him. Actually, I had Daniel Suarez. He was like the first one in my mind that I was thinking about because I knew he was good at Watkins Glen. I knew he and Eric Jones were both good at Watkins Glen. They were going to be the cheaper options. 21st, that's a decent spot. He could get a top 10. He could, but he's good. He's just good here. But I'm not banking on anything more than 15th, to be honest. So that's kind of why I avoided him this week. And a lot of these guys, you're looking in this area, Briscoe, Chastain. Well, no, Chastain may have raced here. Chastain, Reddick, Cole Custer. A lot of these guys, they haven't seen this track, and if in the Cup Series.
Yeah.
And if they have in the Xfinity or Truck Series, it's only been once or twice. It's not been often. So some of these guys will be interesting. Tyler Reddick will be interesting. Chastain, Briscoe, they'll be interesting. You want to keep an eye out for them. They're risky to pick, especially at 8,000. They're in the 8,000 range. They're risky to pick. Chase Briscoe is the least risky pick of them all. He's good at road courses. 27th. That's a good pick. That's a really good pick. But we're not going to go with him because if you scroll up, I have 12,350 left to spend. That's top tier. That's 2 top tier drivers. So, gonna move on up. These guys right here, Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, Alex Bowman, I can't see them finishing at or above where they're going to finish. They could, but I don't think Kevin Harvick's going to compete for the win. He's not done it this year. Mm-hmm. He's ran well, but he's not been in the mix for a win this year. He's been on the outside looking in. Keselowski, it's the same boat. Not really competed consistently this year. Bowman's okay at road courses, not great. I'd advise just not to pick him, but I don't think he's going to be picked a lot at all. So he could work into a strategy where you just go with a wild card, and Alex Bowman, you're throwing his name into the hat, and you can make it work. You can make it work for sure with some of these guys too. Ryan Blaney's decent at Watkins Glen. He's decent at road courses in general. Starting third, though, that's a lot to ask, and he'd really have to win the race. I don't think he's going to win the race, especially with Chase Elliott and all these other guys at the top. It's just a lot of good talent at road courses. Kurt Busch, that's a good price for him. Starting 17th, 10.5. We're not going to go with him, though. We're going to cut it off at Byron because that's all we can do. And we're going to go within 2. We're going to go 2 within this range. So, who is the best driver within the last 4? Martin Truex. That's who we're going to go with. Starting ninth, 13,000. 3.0 in his last 4 at Watkins Glen. 3.0. In tracks that he has ran more than 3 races, this is his 3rd best track. And 4 of his 6 best tracks in general are at road courses.
Yep.
He is just great at road courses. If Chase Elliott's not winning, it's likely going to be Martin Truex winning or competing for the win. And I think you're gonna see a lot of these guys picking Truex and Elliott together, and it's just gonna be one of those things I feel like you can't avoid. You're gonna have chalk with these road courses that I've found, and with the way I make my lineups, I always have like chalky guys, and then I have like 1, maybe 2 guys that a lot of people don't pick, and I feel like that's just the way it goes with me when I pick my lineups. All right, so we eliminated Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin. I really hate we couldn't afford Kyle Busch because I really wanted him because he's just great here. Joey Logano is an interesting pick. Starting in 2nd, though, he's going to have to win the race for him to be of any value. And really, laps led is not going to help you at all. There's only 90 laps.
Yep.
And he's only got 1 spot to climb. He could win, definitely not out of the question, but I think there's a better option within this range, and we're going to go with him. Christopher Bell, starting 7th. Like a lot of these guys that I were mentioning, Reddick, Custer, Chastain, this is going to be, Alfredo, this is going to be their first race, Cup Series race at Watkins Glen. He's starting 7th. He's ran well this year in road courses when he's had really good equipment. He was the winner at Daytona Road. He finished 2nd at Road America. He had an accident at COTA.
Yep.
And I think that definitely would have been top 10 if he'd have stayed in the race. But who knows? We'll never know. This is going to be his first Cup Series race here. But he's ran 2 Xfinity Series races here. And he has an average finish of 5.5. He doesn't have a win, but 5.5 is his average finish. So that's just great. I realize the Xfinity and the Cup Series are 2 different series, but 5.5 in any series is good, especially when you're in a NASCAR series. 11.2 is a great price for him as well. So we're going to clean up this lineup. We're kind of jumping all over the place here. You almost have 3 top tier guys with the way I picked it. Almost. Chase Elliott, he's the king of road courses. Won 6 of the last 8 road courses. Won the last 2 at Watkins Glen. Just great. You really can't afford not to have him in your lineup. He's going to be picked a lot, but you just really can't afford not to have him. Martin Truex. If Chase Elliott's the king of road courses, Martin Truex the prince. He's the prince of road courses.
How about that?
3.0 in his last 4 at Watkins Glen. It's his 3rd best track in tracks that he's raced more than 3 races. He's just really good at road courses. Another guy you really can't afford not to have in your lineup. If you go that route with Chase Elliott or Martin Truex, I think your next best option is obviously going to be Kyle Busch. And I think it's going to be Chase Elliott either or Kyle Busch. But we're not gonna go with Kyle Busch. I hate it though. I really wanted him. Christopher Bell. First Cup race at Watkins Glen. He's got a win this year at the Daytona Road Course, and he finished 2nd at Road America, proving that he can win at a road course, and I think he will be competing for the win this weekend. We moved down quite a bit to Michael McDowell. 2 top 10s this year at road courses at Coda and Daytona Road. And he doesn't really have a bad average finish in the last 4, 15.8 at Watkins Glen. He's just a decent road course racer. It doesn't matter really what equipment he's in. He's just a decent road course racer. And he's starting 25th. If he can get you a top 15, that's 10 extra points. 5 extra points. But still, 5 extra points in Vandal's good. And we move all the way down almost to the bottom. Anthony Alfredo. It's going to be the biggest wild card of my lineup. It's his first race in general at Watkins Glen. He's never seen the track except probably in iRacing.
Probably, yeah.
But not terrible at road courses. 18th at Coda, 22nd at Daytona Road, and I hope he replicates that on Sunday. So that's what we have for FanDuel this week.
All right, so you see the differing strategies there. And from FanDuel to DraftKings, the pricing was pretty good this week, so that's one thing to look at for sure. I kind of forgot to mention they are running the higher horsepower package this week, which the drivers kind of do prefer, I believe, and the fans do as well.
Oh, yeah.
Just trying to recap on anything else there. My picks to win, I really believe, I didn't look at the odds, but like Ross Chastain is probably a good option this week. You have to really look at the drivers that are fighting for that playoff spot because I believe there's 4 races left, including this one. So the time is winding down, and with Eric Almirola winning that Loudon race, there's only a couple spots left. Denny Hamlin's winless, Harvick's winless. Then you got Dillon, Reddick, Chastain. DiBenedetto's kind of in there. Yep. Suarez. Mm-hmm. So you got some drivers in there that are really fighting for that spot. So it'll be interesting, and a road course is definitely a place.
Tyler Reddick.
Yeah.
Tyler Reddick.
I left him out.
Yeah.
But yeah, Reddick is also, so Reddick and Dillon are fighting for that. So Reddick or Chastain could be pretty good options.
Yep.
So yeah, that'll pretty much do it. If you like what you see here, just subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Sports Chief, and hit that bell notification to let you know when our videos go up live. Also, of course, you have comments on YouTube, so if you feel free to say any comments that you like, positive, negative, whatever, doesn't matter. Questions, we'll try to help with that too. And check us out on www.thesportschief.com. We have varying articles. Garrett actually just went to the Gulf. Went to Alabama, Mississippi. Mm-hmm. Pretty good stuff there.
Yep.
For a week trip that he took. We got wrestling articles, song of the day. Got any suggestions for us to write? Hey, we'll see if we can make it work.
Yeah.
We'd like to think that, we have interest in a lot of varying different places.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So obviously you can tell by our starting of our video the way we put the lights up in the sky and the cryptocurrencies. So, yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, follow us on Twitter also at The Sports Chief and on Instagram as well. I guess that pretty much covers that, all of our spiel.
Yeah, basically.
So yep, best of luck to you at Watkins Glen. Have a great race weekend, and best of luck to you on the DFS, DraftKings, and FanDuel.
All right, thank you.